Good morning, everybody. My name is Sapna Chadha. I head marketing at Google in India, and I'm really glad to be here today. I want to thank the Bridge and the Caravan for inviting us here today to talk about an issue that we feel very strongly about. And I'm glad that they've positioned it in a way that it's a conversation, because I think there are many different points of view on how the internet can help. And there could be points of view on the internet being harmful, but I wanted to share our perspective in that when the internet and access to information is used correctly, the power that it has to change and transform lives is very, very significant. And why we're here today as Google is to talk about an issue that we have been seeing that is quite alarming to us. It's when you look at internet usage, there's a huge gender gap that exists online. A very, very, very significant gap. Actually, one of the worst in the world. When you look at internet users today, 3 out of 10 internet users in India are women. You'd expect that hopefully in most countries in the world, it's about 5 out of 10. But what's worse is that when you go into rural India, only 1 in every 10 internet users is a woman. And we find that to be very alarming. Why should only 1 in every 10 internet users be a woman? At Google, we believe that access to information can transform lives, and it can fundamentally educate and serve as a medium for skilling women. But when they don't have the access, then they fundamentally can't be transformed in the way that many other women around the world are seeing the benefits. I'm going to tell you about a woman that I met recently. Her name is Buji. I visited Andhra Pradesh in a village called Somavaram. And Buji is from a lower caste in India. She has not been skilled or has very limited education. She's a widow at the age of 28, has 2 daughters to care for, and is struggling in terms of her family and keeping them ahead and making the income that they need to survive. And the question I'd ask you is, there's many situations like this. Do we think that access to the internet or access to information can change such situations? We believe that the answer is yes. And I'm going to tell you today about why and how we see this folding out. But let's first talk about why are women not accessing the internet? Why is it that only 1 out of every 10 users are getting online? Well, it's 3 reasons. First, cultural barriers. Women aren't allowed in many cases. They're held back. Every time I do focus groups with users and I ask them why they're not, they're saying, well, my husband has a smartphone, my father has a smartphone, but he's not letting me have one. So there's a cultural resistance to this. They have a number of things that they need to do in their day-to-day lives. They say they don't have time for it. Because there's a lack of perceived value. That's the second issue, is there's a lack of perceived value, but frankly, it's because they don't know what they don't know. They haven't seen it. When you ask them, what is the internet? They can't give you an answer because they've never seen it and they've never witnessed it. So lack of perceived value, cultural barriers, and the third is lack of access. Connectivity is improving. We see the transformation happening. 4G is launching. Access is getting better, but it's not everywhere yet today. But we expect that over the next few years, it's going to see a massive shift. And that's why we need to get ahead of this. Why should women not be aware of what's out there? Why should they not understand I look at this as a basic human right. And we as Google, that's what we believe, in universal access. There shouldn't be about gender. Gender should not be holding women back on this. And so what we've done is that we realized that we had to change this. We had to do something about it. And about a year ago, we partnered with Tata Trusts to say, let's create agents of change in villages. So what we do is we train a woman in a village who has a lot of aspiration and wants to do more. We train her on how to use the internet. It's a 3-fold skilling, 3-level skilling training that we do for her. And then we ask her to train everybody else in her community. Because we believe that there's an old adage that says, when you train a man or you educate a man, you educate an individual. But when you educate a woman, you educate her family and you educate her community. And what we've done is that we've have this woman go back to her village and train every other child, every other woman on how and what to do, how to operate a smartphone, how do you swipe, how do you download an app, how do you get access to video content on how to, make recipes, how can you access the whole world that's there. And what we're seeing is that these women, when they see the value, their lives change. We're now in 25,000 villages where we've set this up because we realized that if we just did a training and left, it wouldn't be lasting in terms of impact. But when we educate the entire village and make this something that the entire village takes part in, it can create change. Our goal is to get 300,000 villages enabled in this way. Our goal is that we should have half of Indian villages connected and that Google can help play a role in doing this. And we believe that we can get to a state where 50% of the internet users in India are women. Because frankly, until we get there, then we're failing as a country in terms of equal rights. But like the video said, it's not about rights, it's about opportunity. And we believe that opportunity is there to be had, but it's not happening as fast as we'd like. I'm going to go back to Buji now. I'm going to share a video with you of what's happened to Buji from Andhra Pradesh and what she's doing to change her village. Her position in her society, since she's been trained and given access to the internet, has fundamentally changed, and she's helping others. She's gone from somebody that was not respected in her society to changing how her community feels about her, about their opportunity, and about their future. And Buji is here, to show you the story that, frankly, we didn't plan on taping this. We had gone to just do a regular visit to a village, but when we saw this story, and when we see the thousands of stories of change that are happening, we said we needed to record this. So it's a little bit of it wasn't planned, but I want to show you this story. And then after that, after we play this video, we have some of these women we call internet sathis. Sathis are friends, and these women are going out and being friends to those in their village and helping educate those around them. We have several of them from several different states of India to talk about their experience, because frankly, I can give you a speech and tell you about the change, but until you hear from the women themselves, you won't see the impact.